Hi, this is Lance Moss from youtube.com/LanceMossTV. So, stop on by and check me out. That's youtube.com/LanceMossTV.
Come on in and sit down. You cut the hardcore crew chewing the fat. You cut us shooting the shit. You cut us in the moment.
Well, John Cena's being injured from his broken nose. Actually, if you guys watched last night on Raw, Triple H came out and said there's a 50-50 chance of John Cena not making it to SummerSlam. Now, if you ask me, guys, I think that is just a kayfabe or a storyline. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. And they want to set up an alternate match just in case Cena does not make it to SummerSlam. And one of the rumored matches, alternate matches,
Sheamus,
is going to be it's a triple threat: Sheamus and Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. I was so pissed because I didn't watch it last night. I watched it today. I was so pissed at the television when Sheamus came down and basically wrecked Randy Orton's chance. But you know what, though? Again, as Joe and I talked about this before the show started, we are in the moment. You knew that WWE was not going to exchange titles anytime soon, so I'm just sitting there and watching it. And like you said, Orton hits the RKO, and who comes out?
Sheamus.
What a shock. Sheamus.
But you know what? What I don't understand with the WWE, they're making him, Luke, a real crap champion, which is going to be, I would say, it's going to tarnish his reputation.
I'm not 100% sure, agree with you on that one. I see where you're going as far as making him a heel or a bad champion, but that's because he's trying to be the heel, and I think it's working, and a lot of fans, believe it or not, do stand behind Seth Rollins. And, I do too, because I think Seth Rollins is a phenomenal worker, and he's doing his job as a heel perfectly.
He is. He's turning into the old-fashioned heel, where they have to do dirty tricks to get on top, which is very rare these days.
Exactly, and that's my thoughts. Joe, what do you think about Seth Rollins and his heel character at the moment?
I think compared to how he started with the Shield, I think he's doing great. We finally have, excuse the term, a Ric Flair-ish champion where he uses underhanded tactics to get by. And lately, he's been using a lot of Triple H's moves, which is going to probably infuriate Triple H even more and say, hey, I could do it better than you because I'm younger. Who do I see as Seth Rollins' opponent? I think most likely will be even Triple H. Would he win? Hope not. But I think it's a situation where it should be somebody that can give Seth Rollins a good match and literally give him somebody like a power, even if it's, again, Brock. Because if you remember Flair wasn't that big. He was a Seth Rollins. But he got away because he did every dirty trick in the book, and I think that's what Seth Rollins is doing. So I really, at first I was like, man, this guy's going to be a transitional champion. But he's impressed me, and I think sooner or later he's going to lose the belt. But I think it won't be anytime soon.
And I almost have to agree with you. I mean, at SummerSlam, it really is a big question is if Cena is going to show up there. And if he does show up, it's going to be title for title. We've talked about how we can see that title for title. No titles changing hands because it has happened before. But now we're not even sure if Cena is going to show up. Lance, I know you're no John Cena fan, but let me ask you honestly, do you think it's a good idea that Cena shows up for this pay-per-view, or do you think they should go with the alternate?
Personally, I don't want to see him beat Ric Flair's record. That's just my personal opinion, but it all depends. It's a good idea or a bad idea, all depending on how well healed his nose is. If it's still, well, for lack of a better term, fucked up, wrestling is a business of you basically getting hit in the face. If your nose is still fucked up, you don't need to be getting hit in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you 110%. I think it's a little bit more of like a 75-25 shot. 25% that he's not going to show up, but that's just me. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
You know what, Rick? Let me throw in something real quick. In all honesty, guys, do we really want to see John Cena again holding that belt?
And again, that was a question that we've talked about in the past, and I don't think he's, I think he's worthy of it, but do I want to see him get that? No, because there's so many other wrestlers that deserves to be a champion at this point to prove their career. Cena's done it all Why would he need it? He doesn't need it. You've talked about before how other wrestlers who have been champions, who've been champion once or twice before, Cena's been a champion over 15 times, and if he wins, it'll be a 16th time. So I would really just rather see some of the younger guys get that shot. I want to move on to something else that happened on Raw that night, which kind of really, I thought was a shitty segment, and I'm talking about the Stardust Stephen Amell segment. I understand why they're doing it, because they're trying to make SummerSlam another WrestleMania, but when I saw it, I just rolled my eyes, and I was just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. This is just stupid. Nobody wants to see this, and it's not going to be entertaining. This is what going to be a piss break, guys. Anybody want to agree with me or disagree with me?
Well, I mentioned this when I was doing the WrestleGamer's Raw review. There's one or two ways they can go with this. When they had, I think they got the little short redhead guy on Raw, I think his name's Seth Meyers, I think. It's either going to be like that when they had him in a tag match, or it's going to be along the lines of in WCW when they had Rodman and Karl Malone, or Rodman and Jay Leno in tag matches. From how he scaled the ring last night, I'm actually looking forward to see how this thing goes.
You know what? I'm really not, because it's obviously that the celebrity and Neville is going to have to win. That's how it's always been. Andy, would you agree with me or disagree with me on that?
No, fully agree entirely.
It could be a lot worse, though. They could bring back Snooki.
Then, yeah, okay, because he is an action star. But I don't even think it's going to be that entertaining. Joe, your thoughts?
Actually, you know what? I can actually see this be somewhat entertaining, but I can see the necessity for it. They want to get more mainstream, and they want to make more. Remember, WWE's ultimate goal is just to go out and make movies. And if you can get rubbed with some good, celebrities and stars, that's going to help their product. And plus, remember, guys, they want to bring more audience. If you can pull in an audience from another show, then so be it. They'll bring in more people from other areas. Is it going to be a memorable Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man, Randy Savage WrestleMania 3 match? No. It'll probably come to the equivalent of S.D. Jones versus King Kong Bundy. It'll be over, hopefully, for God's sakes, quickly.
Yeah, and that's how I see it. This is, like I said, a pisser match with no real true entertainment value. And it's a shame because, you do have two great wrestlers, such as Stardust, who his character's been developing very well over the past couple of months. And then you have, of course, Neville, who is incredible. Just to add these two to this match is not doing them any favors in my book. I do want to move on to talk about Hulk Hogan. As we know, today is his birthday, and we all know that Hogan, over the past couple of weeks, has not exactly had the best time. Hogan, however, still says that he's setting up for a WrestleMania 32 match. Well, he corrected himself. He said, I'll explain. I was aiming for 32, but I'm training like there's still something big in my future. Only love for my maniacs, Hulk Hogan. And I'm sorry, as much as I am stand behind the Hulk Hogan, and as much as I'm still a huge fan of Hulk Hogan, I don't see him appearing at WrestleMania 32 in any shape or form. Joe, would you agree or disagree?
You know what? I say this. Never say never. Things can change tomorrow, and the WWE will bring him in. I said this before, and I said it again. There wouldn't be a WrestleMania without a Hulk Hogan. There wouldn't be any WWEF, without Hulk Hogan. So I think it's just basically just something just for them to play along politically, just for the time being. But as soon as this thing dies out, you'll see Hulk Hogan return. Will he be at WrestleMania? I'm going to say yes, because, again, it's Hulk Hogan, provided he doesn't commit suicide first.
Andy, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 32, do you really see that as a possibility?
As long as it's not a fighting thing, then I ain't really got a problem. It's nice to bring some of the old people back to cause a bit of interest, but I don't want to see him fight again. I think his fighting days are over.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, since he's training, that means he's thinking he's going to have another match, which don't need to happen. If he wants to come down the ramp and go, oh, brother, 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 oh, brother, 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 Silverdome, brother, 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 why not? But, the red and yellow again and getting do a match? Hell no.
Again, I'm a Hulk Hogan fan, but I think his wrestling days are over, and I think we were all in agreement on that one.
It's just Hulk ain't in agreement with that.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, because he's, like most wrestlers who get past that age, don't want to step away from the spotlight. Ric Flair had that same problem. And you know what? We're seeing The Undertaker have that very similar problem. I want to move on now to the Scott Hall Paige Twitter situation. I don't know for those of you who've heard it, but I guess Scott Hall made a joke with Paige online saying, "You're such a nasty girl. I have a good mind to bend you over my knees and spank you."
Oh, dear.
Now the funny thing was, more fans were upset and outraged by this comment than Paige herself, who thought it was funny.
She does look like a kid, so you could probably do it and get away with it.
True. But the thing, though, is, was this really an inappropriate comment to the point where the fans are going to flip out and get all upset? Andy, your thoughts?
I don't think they should get upset, but I think how Hulk Hogan's been at the moment with his racist comments, he's sort of pushing the boundaries a bit, because he wants to be really careful, because if they're picking him up for racist remarks, then next they'll be doing him for inappropriate comments to females.
Well, that is Scott Hall, not Hulk Hogan. Obviously, the WWE hasn't had a problem because they haven't mentioned it online, officially anyways. And again, when you have Paige, who he made the comment to, laugh and say, "Hey, I thought it was funny as shit," nobody else should care. But nobody else would be like, all right. It just sounds like Marx acting like Marx. Joe, agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree. You know what? We live in such a politically bullshit country, in times that people get offended right away with something as stupid as something minor as that. I swear, if we didn't have the internet and people weren't such idiots, the world would be such a greater place. I would hear Louis Armstrong singing, "It's a Wonderful World." It's people just can't control themselves and just don't think that some things are probably just funny little tidbits. I think, it was all in good humor. Paige didn't seem offended.
No, I absolutely agree. Lance, your thoughts. Do you think the fans are, acting like idiots, or do you think that it's not a big deal?
Well, I saw this when it happened on Twitter. I was like, what the hell are people bitching about? One, I do watch Total Divas. I kind of have an idea of what Paige's sense of humor is, because of how she acts on there. These two people just have the same sense of humor. Shut the fuck up.
I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. Let's move along. Hacksaw Jim Duggan recently did a shoot on Brock Lesnar and the Steiner brothers on how they were unsafe in the ring. This is what he had to say. The guy, and I'm assuming he was talking about The Undertaker, he does a lot of high-risk moves for an older man out there. Working with Brock Lesnar is dangerous anyway because Brock doesn't seem to care about his partner. It's easy to hurt people, though. If I give you my body, then you got to take care of me. Some of these guys don't give a darn, and Brock is one of those people. He also did mention Steiner, but it wasn't as much as he was targeting Brock Lesnar. Joe, what are your thoughts?
You know what? The Steiners are stiff. Okay, Brock, we know it's stiff. I look at it like this. This is something that it's a tough man's sport. Take it and bear it. Hell, I've been chopped by Jason Knight and Rockin' Rebel. You want to talk about stiff? I had handprints for 2 days on my chest. This is a tough man's world. Sometimes you get in the ring with a guy who will treat you very gently. There are guys who will go in there and will stiff the hell out of you. I say just take it and stiff them back. If they say, "What the hell are you doing?" I say, "Look, hey, motherfucker, you stiffing me." Or discuss it before. I always tell my talent, don't go in there looking to stiff one another. Talk it out before you do anything. And yes, fans, it's all predetermined.
It's still real to me, damn it.
It was real to me.
Undertaker was reportedly one of the easiest guys to work with despite his size and despite his moves. I don't think anybody's ever complained about the way he worked inside the ring. He was known as one of the better workers, which is probably why WWE still wants him around, despite his character. Andy, your thoughts?
Well, he's always been known as the locker room general, and he's always been there for stopping the shit hitting the fan. I think that's probably down to John Cena's job now, but I don't really know what to say about The Undertaker. I just think when he lost at WrestleMania, that should have been it for me.
And a lot of people thought that was going to be it, but The Undertaker can't leave like that. He has to leave on his own terms, and it's just I call it the Ric Flair scenario. And unfortunately, Undertaker will be one of the best wrestlers of all time, but for him to keep doing what he's doing is only hurting his legacy. It's not helping it at all. Lance, your thoughts about what Hacksaw Jim Duggan had to say?
I don't know if this is work or shoot, but didn't Rick Steiner fuck up Buff Bagwell at one time in WCW?
I believe so, yes.
And Brock did legitimately give Taker a concussion, so Hacksaw ain't wrong.
He's actually injured more than just that. I mean, from what we understand, he's injured Triple H and a few other wrestlers offhand. That's just not off the top of my head, but it's ridiculous.
And I've said this time and time again. After he left the WWE the first time and went to football and UFC, Brock forgot how to work.
You know, I want to move on to another subject, and Joe and I talked about this a little bit before the show, was WWE is considering moving to Destination America. Now, I want to make this very clear, folks. This is only a rumor at the moment, so nothing's been confirmed. The idea is that if this does happen, that they're going to consider moving NXT to Destination America. Now, Joe and I seem to be at odds on this. Joe seems to think that it's going to be a great move for WWE. I think it's going to be a bad move for WWE, only for the simple fact that Destination America is a unknown network. They're not a big network like other sites.
Well, remember, Rick, I said it's good. It was great for Destination America. To WWE, it doesn't matter. It's because they just want to ping that little... They just want to basically bitch slap Dixie. Guys, here's my logic. Okay, WWE is the pinnacle, the top. There's no other company bigger. Now, them going to Destination America. For Destination America, let's forget the wrestling. Let's look at it as a business set. For Destination America to bring an NXT to their network, okay, basically brings up their subscribers. Can you imagine how many subscribers will want to now tune in to Destination America just to see NXT? Their subscription numbers will go so high because we all know the NXT is far superior to TNA and to Ring of Honor in both characters, storylines, and wrestling. TNA, we already know how bad that ship is sunk. So bringing in NXT over to Destination America, it's a smart business move for Destination America. Hell, after 6 months, WWE could say, "Screw you, we're pulling out." It doesn't matter. Now they have the network there. Destination America has their numbers that they needed. Remember, guys, years ago, we found ourselves in a similar situation. ECW was on the TNN network. TNN became Spike TV after WWE came in and pushed ECW out. People were subscribing to TNN, which made them go, well, we were breaking subscription numbers, so we're going to go sharing it around and become Spike. This is what you're going to see Destination America become. They're going to literally take in as much as they can from this move. Is it factual? We don't know, but think of it as a business move.
All right. Andy, WWE possibly going to Destination America. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Personally, I think it's a bad thing. They should keep it on the network to get people buying the network, because at the moment it's probably the best thing on there. I assume they're going to keep it on the network as well. Like, I agree slightly with what Joe said, because it doesn't matter which television company Vince puts his product on. He knows people are going to find it and watch it. So he's gone for probably the cheapest television contract deal he can find. Gives them a bit of notoriety because people are going to take notice. Oh, they've got WWE on there. And like everything else, you watch their NXT product, and instead of channel hopping, you think, oh, see what the next show is. And you might like the next show, and then it might encourage more people to watch their network. So I don't think it's Vince trying to help another network. He's trying to help himself by bigging up the network by using his product at what I would think a cheap price. Because if he went to probably Spike or whatever, they would probably charge him an arm and a leg to televise a show. I bet people like this Destination channel are going to be jumping up and down, jumping through hoops, thinking they've just won the lottery.
And, I don't deny that WWE going to any network is going to help that network out, but I still say it's only going to help them out to a point. And you brought up a very interesting point, Andy, is that if they bring NXT to Destination America, hypothetically, and it's still going to be over on the network, you're going to think, okay, fine, the people who are watching Destination America, they're going to be like, well, gee, now it's on this, it's not on the network, we can do this, why bother buy the network? And then you have it on the flip side. If you wanted to put the, if it's on there, people are just going to be like, why would I want to pay the extra $16, $17 to get Destination America when I can pay $10 a month to go watch it on the network? Lance, do you see my point, or do you disagree with me? Or
one, I think there might be a thing where Vince couldn't even do this if he wanted to, because I think WWE has a contract with the NBC networks anyway.
Correct. Yes,
so
they do.
This couldn't even happen anyway. But one, logistically, it don't make sense. One, because of what you said for the huge price. Well, I don't want to say $7 is a huge price difference.
It's $17.
I know, but a $7 difference between the network at $9.99 and $17 at for Destination America just don't make sense. And I'm pretty sure more people have the network than have Destination America. It just don't make sense.
If I'm not mistaken, WWE is even considering moving Smackdown to USA, which is, again, a part of the NBC network. Why take one of their biggest shows and move it to a lower network? It doesn't make sense. I understand where Joe is coming from to a point, because, yes, they will, in fact, probably run out TNA, but if they're going to do it just for that reason, they could also lose money in the process. And that's just how I see it. You know what? Right now we're going to wrap things up, but we want to know your thoughts. What do you think about WWE possibly going to Destination America? What do you think about the possibility of John Cena not making it to SummerSlam? Please put your comments in the comments section below, and please make sure you follow us over at Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And take that 5 seconds out to subscribe to us over at YouTube.com/HWR Show. We got tributes, we got this podcast, and much, much more. Right now, we're the incomparable Lance Moss. You can find him over at Lance Moss TV and YouTube.com. Lance, what do you got going on?
Yeah, album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, and on Wednesdays nights, I do a live hangout with my friends and everything, which the Hardcore Crew has been on and probably will be on in the future. But this week is going to start at 6 because we're having some people from a guest on from across the pond. So yeah, and hit me up on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
And, of course, we have my sidekick. He's my partner. He is the son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, you've been real busy over the past week or so. I want you to tell everybody about it.
Yeah, we've had a few investigations. If you don't know, paranormal investigations, back to back. I've been trying to revamp my YouTube channel by putting a bit more stuff on there, like behind-the-scenes footage, just to get some more people to come and join us and have a nose at what we do. So if you're interested in that thing, pop along to www.stokehaunted.com or just go to YouTube/StokeHaunted and give us a subscription, and I'm sure you'll be entertained. It's paranormal stuff, but we're going to be doing myths, legends, monsters, UFOs. We're going to be dabbling in all sorts of weird and wonderful things over the next few months, hopefully.
Last and certainly not least, we have Classic Wrestling manager Joseph Knight. Joe, on the 29th, you got Summer Bash 2 coming up. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Well, fans, on August 29th, Saturday in Boonton, New Jersey, at the Boonton Elks Lodge is Summer Bash 2. We have a full card there that you're going to see Cruiserweight qualifying matches for the Cruiserweight title that's going to be coming up in October. We have a women's match. Roxy Cotton, who was a former Rosebud for Adam Rose in the WWE, is going to be there. We have just a whole bunch of different good matches for everybody to enjoy. Fans who are not able to make it and are fans of HWR can check it out here live. It'll be broadcast here. Rick will have everything set up for you, for everybody, I'm hoping. There's my grandson who hates TNA. I showed him a picture of Dixie Carter, and he said, no! You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com Classic Wrestling Association, or you can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com Joseph Knight Manager. You can follow me on Twitter at JKnightCWA, and you can follow the CWA on our website at classicwrestlingassociation.com. Woo! I got that all out.
And for everyone here, I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying, we'll see you when we see you.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.